Whenever I coach with people or talk with them about reaching their goals in their business specifically, but also in life and other areas, they are always points to this need to do everything perfect, or this desire to not make mistakes as the biggest reason why they're not reaching their goals. And so the biggest thing that keeps people from reaching their goals, I promise you this, in your life is the effort to not make mistakes, the effort to try to do everything right, the effort to try to do everything perfect. And your energy is focused in a place of avoiding mistakes, trying to do it right, trying to do it perfect. And that equates to and equals you never hitting your goals, never reaching your goals. Every single person that I've ever worked with, and in my life, every single moment that I've never hit my goals was when I was trying to not make mistakes, when I was trying to do things perfectly, when I was trying to avoid failing, when I was trying to do everything the right way and get everything in the order that I should do it. Those were the moments where I never hit my goals, and I was procrastinating because my need for self-fulfillment found in doing it right, not making mistakes, was greater than my goal. Meaning my goal had a secondary importance to me than doing it right. And whenever your goal has a secondary importance to not making mistakes and doing it perfect, you'll never hit that goal. You'll constantly be doing things that satisfy that need, that make you feel good inside, that make you feel like you're doing enough, that you're doing it perfect, and actually validate you that you're doing it perfectly. And yet you're never going to hit that goal because your entire goal is just doing it perfect, not making mistakes. And so your goal really becomes do it perfect, don't make mistakes. And the actual goal that you're trying to do takes a back burner. And then you're wondering, okay, why am I still struggling? Why am I not hitting this goal? Well, because your real goal, you have to be honest with yourself here. Your real goal becomes not make mistakes, not fail, not mess up, not do it wrong, not know the right things. That's the other one. Making your goal knowing the right things instead of actually hitting your goal. And when this becomes your goal, that your entire goal is validating to yourself that you did it right, that you did it perfect, that you didn't make mistakes, you spin in this hamster wheel of never progressing, of constantly just barely getting there and then backing off. The way that you're going to break through from that point of that plateau of just barely getting there and then backing off is you completely remove from your mind the possibility that you actually can do it perfect. You completely remove from your mind the possibility that you'll never make mistakes. And you actually remove from your being the need to not make mistakes, the need to do everything perfect. And oftentimes this comes from, we've had past experiences where we made a mistake and it either hurt us or other people. So it's taking on false responsibility for what happened in the past. Maybe we had a situation happen that was a similar energy, a similar feeling, and we're associating that with, okay, well, I did this before and I hurt a friend in this way, and so I better not ever do that again. And we swing all the way to the other side to where we are trying to avoid making that past mistake. And so we never take risk. We never step out. We never go even close to where we were before, when in fact, we were right at the ledge of breakthrough then. And then we took 100 steps backward, trying to never make mistakes, trying to do everything perfect. I talked to a guy yesterday where he's got some amazing goals, some amazing plans, but he kept limiting himself because, he got into a situation where some people resented what he did and he felt bad about what happened in the past. And so he's trying to figure out, okay, how can I break through? How can I break through to the next level in this? And I told him, bro, you're making the need to never make that mistake again more important than actually going after your dreams. And you're hitting it. You're validating that you will never do that again. And that became your most important need in your life. And so for us to reach our goals, we have to make it bigger than not making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes every single day, and you have to come to realization of that and be okay with that. Be okay with making mistakes. Be okay with failing. Be okay with messing up, and embrace that for the lessons that you're going to learn, because you're either going to win or you're going to learn. Failure is when you hit a failing point and then never try again. Mistakes is the only way that you will learn. You can either learn from somebody else's mistakes, which I'm telling you right here, my mistake right there was trying to not make mistakes, trying to not fail, trying to do everything perfectly. Or you can continue trying to avoid mistakes and stay right where you are right now. I promise you this, as long as you try to do everything perfect and try to not make mistakes, you will stay right where you are right now. That's a guarantee. You will never progress to your goals. That's a guarantee. And now you might be saying, well, but I have made progression by this. Yeah, very slow. What if you could accelerate yourself towards your goals exponentially, thousands of times faster than you are right now? But you're not willing to give up the need to do everything perfect, the self-gratification, that identity, that egoic identity where your ego is more important than actually reaching your goals. Are you willing to go after the dreams that you have? Are you willing to take a risk, take a leap of faith, step out in faith towards those goals that you have? Are you willing to lay down the idol that you are worshiping in your life of perfection, of never making mistakes? Are you willing to give up the need to do everything perfect? Are you willing to make mistakes? If you're not going to hit your goals, I promise you. The only time where you are going to cross over into breakthrough in your life is when you become willing to make mistakes, step out, take risk, be vulnerable, open up to possibly getting hurt again, stepping towards that goal. And you got to ask yourself this: what am I so afraid of happening? I promise you that whatever your fear is, it's just control in a fancy suit. You're just trying to control everything around you by not making mistakes, by doing everything perfect. And the fact of the matter is, you're not in control of anything. It's not planning. It's not wisdom. It's not wise at all. It's the least wise thing that you can possibly do in your life, to try to do everything perfect and to never make mistakes. The most wise thing that you can do is put one foot in front of the other. Take a risk. Step out. Keep moving forward in the face of uncertainty, even though you don't know how it's going to work out. And be willing to make a mistake. Be willing to fall flat on your face. That is the most wise thing that you could do in your life. Because then you can learn and keep moving forward and keep going towards your goals. And for anybody that's listening to this right now, maybe this is hard. Kind of, what is that area in your life that maybe you're afraid to step out into? Oftentimes I talk to people, they either don't know what choices to pick in a business. They're afraid to do the thing that they know that they should do because it needs to be perfect. And so they believe that doing nothing is actually better than taking a risk and doing something less than perfect. It's a complete ego trip. It's a complete misappropriation of your goals. You have made your goals the lowest priority, and your entire goal is making yourself look good to other people, trying to avoid criticism. Because of, oftentimes this is judging yourself and judging other people that have made mistakes. And so you've decided, well, I'm never going to be that way, and so I'm always going to do what is right. You got to lay that idol down. You have to stop making that be your priority. You have to lay down the need of avoiding criticism, avoiding confrontation, avoiding judgment in your life. And when that stuff comes, not let it have an effect on you as well. You have to stop making the need to be all things to all people and please people and be a people pleaser be your entire mission, and live your life and walk your life with faith and belief and conviction towards where you're going. I promise you this, that if your heart is in the right place, that if you're in the right place of wanting to help people, overflow kindness, overflow love and joy and compassion, it's okay if you make mistakes. It's absolutely okay. And sometimes we've had people in our life that have tried to manipulate us and have tried to use abusive language or disappointment to make us feel like we're not good enough if we don't perform at a certain level. And many times if you're somebody that's like that, you've submitted to that, where if somebody tells you you're not doing good enough, well, you're going to bless God, make sure that you are doing good enough. Again, it's an ego trip. Realize this, that it's okay to say no when you mean no, and say no to certain things. Say no to the good to get to the great. To stop making your yes and being a yes person be your entire goal, and making people like you be your entire goal. That's a false sense of security. It's a false sense of love and connection. We're made for connection with other people. But when our entire goal is be good, good job, getting the praise of other people liking us, not making mistakes, and being perfect and doing the perfect thing is our entire goal, we will miss it every single time, because that's all that we care about in our life. It's the most unfulfilled life that you can live, to live that way. And I'm saying that from experience, because that's how I lived my life for a long time. And I accomplished a lot of great things. I did a lot of awesome things. But I'm looking at, man, I could have hit my goals so much faster, done so much more, helped so many more people if I actually laid down the need to look good, to be perfect, to please everybody in my life. And actually said, no, hey, no, I can't do that. Or no, I'm not comfortable with that. Or no, that's not going to work out this way. Or no, let's try this out. Instead of avoiding confrontation, instead of avoiding looking bad, instead of avoiding making mistakes, instead of trying to do it all perfect, just letting things flow and walking with faith, putting one foot in front of the other. I promise you that if you make your goal just progress, being present in the present moment, instead of trying to make everything happen, control everything around you, being at peace with what you're feeling, and being okay with and peace with taking a risk, making mistakes, possibly losing everything, being okay with that. Stepping out in faith, feeling the pain of what it's like to not have everybody like you, and being willing to step towards your goals and not trying to be a people pleaser, not trying to get praise and adoration and acclamation and engagement and love from other people by performing and being somebody that you're truly not. You'll start to progress towards your goals. Stop making your goal not making mistakes and doing everything perfect and knowing everything and being certain in everything. Start living your life moving forward. And if you're somebody that, you're not trying to not make mistakes, you're not trying to be a people pleaser, what's your little area that you're stuck at? Oftentimes I hear from people, well, I just don't know the right thing to do. That's the next excuse that people give. I just don't know the right thing to do. That right there is you are equating knowing to success. You're equating certainty to peace and safety and security. You're equating knowing to good. And it's it's the same thing. Because if you know, then you won't make mistakes. If you know, then it'll be perfect. The fact of the matter is you're never going to know anything enough to start to go after your goals. You're actually never going to know enough to start moving forward towards what you were made to do. You're never going to know exactly how something is going to pan out. Stop trying to make knowing everything be your goal and start moving towards those goals that you have in your life. Start putting one foot in front of the other, even if you don't know everything, even if you don't have it all together, even if you don't know for certain how it's going to pan out. You're never going to know. What's stopping you from doing that? Take a look in your life and look at, okay, what do you feel when I say that? When you're watching this, if you're at this point of this video, what do you feel when I say that? What is stopping you from your goals? You're like, well, I'm just not taking action. Why? Well, oftentimes I hear from people, well, because I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, okay. So you're not making mistakes and doing it perfect be your goal. Because if it worked, then you wouldn't be making a mistake. And you see what I'm saying? So it all boils down to this whole need. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you do it, you're trying to control the outcomes with these expectations of believing that there's a point that you'll hit where you never make mistakes, that there's a point that you hit that you'll know everything, that there's a point that you hit where you'll be certain that things will work out for you. The fact of the matter is that's not possible. It's not a reality. It's a fantasy. The reality is that the only thing that's certain is the exact present moment that you have right now, the breath that's in your lungs, walking in faith and putting one foot in front of the other, trusting the process, trusting that staying consistent, it will work out for you. Instead of trying to control the outcomes, moving forward. If fear of failure and the judgment of other people are what you're afraid of, you have to start to embrace failure as a teacher and realize that the way people judge you is a reflection of themselves, not on you. And you have to realize that when you judge another person, it's a reflection on you, not on them. And that anytime that you've looked at, failing, when you've seen somebody else fail, you're judging them the way that you judge yourself. And anytime that you failed and other people have judged you, they're judging you the way they judge themselves. You have to be autonomous from the opinions of other people, the need to get approval and praise from other people, the avoidance of judgment, the avoidance of failure, the avoidance of that needs to not be your goal. When your entire goal in what you're doing is trying to avoid getting judged from other people for your failures, you're guaranteed you're never going to fail, because you're never going to do anything that could possibly be judged. You're going to stay right where you are right now. And so this isn't, again, condemnation or judgment against that either. Trust me, I've lived that way my whole life. The biggest thing is listen, being okay with the fact that people are going to judge me. They're going to lie about me. They're going to say things that aren't true. They're going to see things, or maybe it is true, and maybe I can learn from it. And be okay with the fact that, oh, guess what? You know what? It's okay if I messed up. It's okay if I did something wrong. I don't need to make that need to fix everything, that need to control everything, that need to control the narrative, that need to control the perception that people have of me be so important in my life. I know where I'm going. I trust God to validate me. And I trust that if I keep putting one foot in front of the other, I trust that God will bring the right people into my life. And I trust that going towards my goals is what I was made for. There's nothing that can stop you from reaching your goals but yourself. There's nothing that can keep you or prevent you from reaching your goals but yourself. Other people don't have the power to do that. They don't have the ability to stop you from going after your goals unless you give them that explicitly, unless you give the power up to other people. So it's time to take back that power in your life and start to walk towards your goals with certainty, with confidence. Certainty and confidence in the fact that you can't do anything perfect. Certainty and confidence in the fact that it's okay to make mistakes. That's what you have to get confident in. And that'll start helping you move forward towards your goals. Grow your life, everybody. I think I'm going to do a podcast on this today. This is good. I'm excited about this. Specifically around fear of failure and judgment and kind of how all that works. So grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.